was doing shows down there with Rufus Thomas, one of the clubs, and when they moved to Nashville, all the girls was after Jimmy because he was supposedly good looking. You know what I mean? So I'd pump up and put tight shirts on, try to take every one of them that I could away from him, you know. Because Jimmy didn't want to pay no attention to those girls. All he wanted to do was woodshed all the time. Practice on his guitar all of the time. And he'd go up to that room and just stay in there 2 or 3 days. Marion could vouch for that. Just practicing, you know, and we was after the girls, you know. And then later, you know, Marion kind of took him on the road with her.
Yeah, Marion. So we're talking.
But it wasn't that we didn't like what he's doing. We didn't understand it.
I know.
He he was doing a Delta blues style with a twist that we didn't know nothing about. I call it psychedelic. You know, and it's wasn't that we didn't appreciate him. It's just we didn't know what he was playing.
Yeah, and just to give people context, see, we're talking about 5 years before Jimmy would become famous. So, you know, psychedelic, and he's known for that. You know, Are You Experienced and all that in '67, but we're talking like '62,
yeah.
'63.
Right.
So Marion, he was, you know, you traveled with Jimmy. Can you talk about your memories of him?
Yeah, especially when he'd make us late on gigs, you know. We'd be out there blowing, waiting, you know. Where's Jimmy? You know, we got to go. We work in Chili Circle, you know. It's what you call a Chili Circle. A lot of people don't know what that is, but it's the area around Nashville, like Tullahoma and what have you, you know. And I would have to get out of the car and go upstairs and knock on the door. Hey, I just know you read it after an hour, you know, on the side of the bed,
yeah.
No shoes on, and no shirt on, sitting there playing, just playing, don't have a worry and a care. Jimmy, do you know we got a gig tonight? Okay, I'll be ready. He had me sitting on the steps, upstairs, waiting on him a day. Because that's just the way he was. He loved to rehearse to himself. And the strange thing about it, I believe he really the one that started it. Playing guitar and not hooked up with anything, you know, just playing without a amp. And he would do that. But those are the times I remember about Jimi Hendrix.
He couldn't afford one, you know.
Well, I remember Billy Cox, who he sent back and wrote 2 songs for me back in the '60s. I'm so glad and I feel sorry for you. And we were looking for a rhythm guitar player. Well, Jimmy was the only person that was left. Matter of fact, in November they released Jimi Hendrix Anthology or something like that, and they saw fit to put "I'm So Glad" on that CD. But Horace Allen had brought him in to play rhythm guitar. And they battled all day about the rhythm that Jimmy was playing, and finally got it about halfway right. But Jimmy, I'm being totally honest with you. He wasn't considered to me as a singer, as one of the better guitar players. Johnny Jones, George, and those guys were to me the best rhythm and blues guitar players because they could play anything. But he had his way. He was flamboyant on stage. Always was flamboyant on stage, playing behind his neck and all this good stuff with his teeth. But that's what memory I have of him, and playing down at the Del Maraca, and him being on the session with us at the Starday King, which was over on Dixon Road.
Yeah. And we keep mentioning Billy Cox. Billy Cox, of course, would join Jimmy in the band of Gypsies, but Billy is from Nashville too, and was on those TV shows with Frank, Night Train, and The Beat. Jimmy, you have any thoughts on Hendrix? No? Okay. Nick, can we hear the song that you wrote with Scotty Moore?
Oh, okay. All right. One day I was at home, my phone rang.